And welcome back to the Red and Gold Zone. It is time for our favorite segment, our keys to the game. Of course, I'm joined by Kylan Mills. And
What's
then,
up?
obviously, our insider, Grant Cohn. Grant, thanks so much for joining us. Now, the Niners went into this bye week, probably the most injured team in the NFL. They're just decimated by injuries. They've had a week off. Who on this roster, it could maybe be multiple people, you think benefited the most from this time off?
Well, I think it's the running backs. Raheem Mostert, Tevin Coleman, Jeff Wilson Jr., and I'll throw Deebo Samuel in there because he's a wide receiver, but the Niners kind of use him as a running back. The Niners are a run-first team. They can't compete unless they run the ball. They did a pretty good job against the Saints, but averaged like 1 yard a carry. They can't win that way. So if they can actually get some bodies back at running back, they could compete. The problem is, as players come back, an equal amount of players go on the reserve COVID-19 list. So it's just the most ridiculous season of all time, Jason.
It is ridiculous. Now, assuming they do get some running backs back on the field, do you think this team has the talent to make a run and to still potentially make the playoffs, especially with a second-string quarterback at the helm?
I do. I think so, but maybe I'm just a 49ers homer. No, seriously, they have an excellent defense. They got the defense ranks 7th right now. If they could get a run game to go along with it, and I think they do have a run game when the running backs are healthy, you can beat a lot of teams with a defense and a run game, even if you have a second-string quarterback. I don't know if the run game's ever going to come back, and I don't know who's going to get COVID-19 tomorrow. I mean, right now it's looking like Trent Williams, Brandon Ayuk, and more won't be able to play this Sunday. That's going to be tough. So we'll see.
Yeah, and this week, the Niners have the Rams in L.A. this week. Rams playing some pretty good football, but the Niners got their most impressive win against the Rams earlier this year. What has changed, I guess, from both teams from that win to this week's matchup?
Not a lot. I mean, the Rams have won some games and they're confident. The Niners have lost some games, but they're still playing hard. I mean, really, the Rams have lost their left tackle. They lost Andrew Whitworth. Now they're down to Joseph Noteboom or something. So, I mean, I think the Niners match up pretty well against the Rams, and the Rams are a little bit more banged up than they were week 6. I think it's going to be an interesting, even matchup.
Okay, Grant, I want to ask you about some things down the road in the future because I love all your conspiracy theories on Twitter. What do you see for the future of this offense and the future of Jimmy Garoppolo? I'm laughing. I'm seeing you throwing out Mitch Trubisky's name. I'm just curious what your take is on that.
Well, as a native Chicago-lander, I'm thinking you're thinking that would be a bad move for the 49ers to get Trubisky, right?
I am.
Well, that's fair. No, I think what the Niners are going to do is I think they're going to move on from Jimmy Garoppolo for 2 reasons. 1, he can't stay healthy. And 2, he's really expensive and the cap is going down. So if they're going to get rid of him, I would expect they would draft a guy in the first round. I don't think they're going to sign Mitchell Trubisky. Sorry, Mitchell. And I think they might sign a guy like Alex Smith. If there's going to be a bridge quarterback, he doesn't need to make $27 million a year. Give him 8. And it could be someone who's actually near and dear to 49ers fans' hearts. Alex Smith, they got rid of him too soon. And he would be perfect to help groom the young quarterback, whoever it is, because he helped groom Patrick Mahomes.
Right now, and obviously there are actually I think there's 4 first-round graded quarterbacks this year in the NFL draft. Now, if you want to trade Jimmy Garoppolo, you obviously would like his value to be high. And for his value to be high, he has to play. Mm-hmm. When can we expect Jimmy Garoppolo back on the field? Is there a chance we see him for Monday Night Football in a couple weeks at Levi's?
You can expect him whenever you want to expect him. That doesn't mean he's coming back out there. No, you're absolutely right. They would love him to be back on the field because I think they could have gotten a first-round pick for him last year had they traded him last year coming off that Super Bowl appearance. Now, he might not even be tradable, considering how expensive he is, that he gets hurt and the cap's going down. So what I think they would like to do is to get him back on the field for, say, the last 2-3 games. But if they're 4-9, is he going to even want to come back? Will he agree to come back? And would it be the right move to bring him back and have him risk injury when he knows he's going to get cut or traded at the end of the year? I'm thinking the Niners, whether or not he plays again, the most they'll get for him is 4th-round pick.
Wow.
Woof. Well, I'm just glad that I won't have to endure another season of watching Mitchell Trubisky. I hate to say it, but you know, as a Bears fan, it was a little bit tough. One last question for you, I guess. What is your prediction for this weekend's game? Score, outcome, what do you think?
Okay. I don't know whether Trent Williams or Brandon Ayuk are going to be on the reserve COVID-19 list. I don't know if Raheem Mostert and Richard Sherman and Jeff Wilson Jr. are going to be activated off IR, although I think they will be. So given all that I don't know, I'm going to say confidently, yes, the 49ers are going to beat the Rams 19-17 on Sunday.
It's a hot take.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if the Niners win, they're kind of back in the swing of things for a playoff spot. I'm not sure if they still have it in them to win this division. There's a couple teams they'd have to jump, good teams. But hey, you know they're going to play hard for Kyle Shanahan. They have most of the year, so maybe they get a win. But Grant, as usual, brother, thank you so much for joining us. There you have it. That is your keys to the game.